Hello, Jimmy here at O'Reilly's Mobile Mechanics. I just come to look at a Volvo XC90 that's in limp mode. So here she is, it's a D5 all-wheel drive XC90. So I'm inside here now, let's start it up and see what we're looking at. So I have an engine management light on. We're almost out of fuel again. So, see what warnings we have down here in this corner. Passenger door open, driver door open. Soot filter is full. Engine system service required. Time for a regular service. That's about it. Okay, let's plug it in, diagnostics, and see what we're reading. So some of the information there on it. It's an XC90 2012 D5. It's the all-wheel drive version. So let's click next. Do a diagnosis scan. Okay, we'll pause that. Let's go back to the engine management. Let's get up a little bit there. Trouble codes. Particle trap, faulty signal. 2B40. Glow relay, faulty signal. So it looks like it might need a few different things. Swirl Actuator control, yeah. Gonna know what that one is. That's the swirl flap. It's gonna be the arm that's broken, I bet. Particle trap value. So let's have a look on live data. Or actually, what I'm gonna do now is I've got a picture of those codes, so I'm just gonna clear these and see what faults return. Particle filter. It's a permanent fault. So we'll go to live data now. Sees the particle filter differential pressure sensor. See, is that working? We'll just click on that one anyway as well for a minute. Okay, there we have the particle filter. So we'll move those to the top. Now we'll start the engine up, see if we've got any readings on the particle filter sensor. Yes, we have. So that's one good sign there. We've at least got a reading on the sensor, so the sensor is working. We're not going to need to replace that. 200 pressure. Alright, just looking on the inlet manifold here, you can see there that's the flap for the inlet swirls, and that's the arm is not connected to it. It's broken off down here. So I'm just going to have to take this arm off. So I'll just pull the arm off there. What I can do for this temporarily is switch it around in this direction, which will hold it. It'll still have some grip on the inner edges from this side. So I'll connect that back up now, just by pushing it onto the flap there. Get that pushed on. I might need my two hands for this. So just push that back on there, and you can see now that I've flipped it around in the opposite direction, it's on nice and strong, so it's not going to come off. Ideally, like, you would want to replace this, but obviously we weren't prepared. We didn't bring a part with us. We've obviously just come to diagnose this issue, but while we're here, we're going to have a go at just trying to get everything working all in one visit, and we can return to put a new one of them on if need be, but that will hold there, just like that. That would be fine. It sounds like I can hear a little bit of a boost leak, so I'm going to put a smoke tester on there, see if we can locate where that's coming from. So I'm just connecting up this smoke detector machine here. connecting that onto the inlet here. I'm just going to see if I can see any smoke leaks that will indicate a boost leak anywhere around the engine. So just down there on the inlet pipe I can see is a leak down there. So that would probably be why the MAF sensor is coming up as faulty. So now I'm underneath the vehicle here. I don't know if you can see there, but I've located that smoke leak to the inlet on the turbo there. It's leaking from the rubber seal there. It looks to me like it's just not fitted properly really, so we'll try and fit it on properly. See if we can fix that. I've just got a few extensions here just to get up along there and make it easy. But yeah, that clip was definitely loose. Now I've got that tightened up and it's not going to leak anymore. Let's just pull this back out now. So I had to use quite a few extensions there just to get up there. Now you can see there that's definitely sealed up, and you can't see the red rubber seal that was there shown before. It's all tightened up. We pushed it up a little bit there and tightened the clip up. So that boost leak up there, that's what would have caused this DPF issue to happen here. So now I've opened up the DPF pressure holes here. This is the one pre-DPF, so we're going to fill some fluid into here and hopefully get this pressure drop down on the pressure sensor. So I'm using 5 litres of this Wins DPF cleaner into my pressurized bottle here, and we're going to get it inside the DPF now. Just slide that over there. This is my tube coming from the bottle here, pressurized bottle. So I'm just going to pump this up now. Right, we're been having a bit of technical issues, whatever you call it. But basically, my phone that I'm recording this with, it shut down because the temperature was too hot. It wouldn't let me switch the phone back on. The phone just went into like some sort of safety mode there. It said the phone is too hot and it needs to shut down. Wouldn't let me switch it back on for at least half an hour. I've just had the air conditioning on in the van here, just holding the phone in front of it to get it to cool down. But the phone is back on now, but we're finished the job. Basically, we've got it down to 4 HPA, same as millibars, on idle, and we got it down to 52 millibars at 4,000 RPM. So that's a good result. It's good enough, and yeah, the car's running perfectly now, and that's it. So we'll see you on the next video.